For more on the latest polling in battleground states and amid sentiment around those swing voters, we're joined right now by political strategist and pollster Frank Luntz. And Frank, it's good to see you. We've been talking to you throughout this election season. And at this point, you're focusing on some of the swing voters. That would be voters who voted for President Trump last time around and are planning to vote on for Vice President Biden this time, or those who voted for Hillary Clinton last time who are planning to vote for President Trump this time, correct?
That is correct. And what's fascinating about them is that there are two issues that they're generally focused on. One is COVID, and that is one of the reasons why people who voted for Trump in 2016 are voting for Biden. They feel that there was no plan, that the virus was worse than they expected, that the president really didn't have a handle on it, and they don't like him fighting with his medical experts. And then on the economy, as you heard before, that is the number one issue for a lot of Americans. That's the reason why you had Clinton people from 2016 switching to Donald Trump in 2020. They see him as better able to create jobs. They see him as better able to steward the change. For those people who are Trump voters, as that graphic shows, that is the one unifying factor. And frankly, I think the Trump campaign should have spent more time on the economy and less time on Hunter Biden and some of the scandals that they brought up in the last 7 days.
Let's listen into what some of those swing voters said when you spoke with them over the weekend, when you asked them about the economy and President Trump.
Donald Trump has done great for the economy, but again, COVID, I think many small businesses that can't afford to survive through it won't survive. The large corporations, Amazon, Walmart, will all become huge.
Frank,
sure, yeah.
One thing that disturbs me is, the Federal Reserve has warned that if Congress doesn't pass a package of additional relief for businesses and small business owners and states, that we could potentially be in trouble with monetary policy. And so from my perspective, the fact that Congress went home and did not come to any agreement with the president, I mean, what does that say about their respect for the American people and where their priorities really are?
Frank, with all of that, how do you think it really plays out? You said that those voters who support President Trump, 98% of them are doing it because of his performance on the economy and jobs. Is that enough for him to win re-election?
I'm not convinced. And in fact, we're now at election day, so you're asking for prognostications. At this point, if Trump does pull it out, and there are people who think that he does have a chance, it would be the complete and utter destruction of the polling industry, at least in politics, because virtually all of the mainstream surveys not only have Biden leading, but they have him up 6, 7, 8 points. Now, there are a few polling firms and Trump's own polls that show him in the lead or even in most of these swing states. So there have been a few outliers in this. But the fact is, as you see in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Arizona. Well, Arizona is more Republican than Democrat. But in too many states, particularly those upper Midwestern states, Trump has to win one of them, either Wisconsin, Michigan, or Pennsylvania, is one of the reasons why Trump and Biden have spent so much time in the Keystone State. They're doing everything they can to gin up turnout. Trump in the middle part of the state, Biden in the eastern western parts, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. I think that when they look back at this election, they will say that missing a presidential debate was essential, that the fact that they canceled one is going to be really problematic, and the fact that the economy was getting better, it was under recovery, but not enough Americans saw it, felt it, really personalized it, that these are the two key factors in the eventual outcome.
Hey, that chart that we were just looking at, that picture of the American country and where those swing states are, a lot of the difference is a 2 to 3% difference between President Trump and former Vice President Biden in those states. Margin of error is 1.7%, so that's pretty close. I was just kind of looking at some of the odds for the betting sites in terms of when we think we're going to actually know who the winner is. Some of them say November 13th or later. Sportsbetting.ag has December 1st or later listed as the favorite. What do you think? Is this going to be something where there's clarity tonight, tomorrow, later this week, or you think it takes longer?
So I will be on your air, unless I screw up right now. I'm going to be on your air tomorrow at the same time. And we will not have a winner tomorrow. We'll have an indication of where things are going. And the fact that you went to North Carolina, the 3 states voters need to follow this evening: Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio. If Donald Trump wins all 3 of them, he's going to be in this. And then it may boil down to Pennsylvania, because they're going to take the longest to count. We will not know a winner in Pennsylvania for at least the next 48 hours, perhaps 72 hours. But we will know in Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania by 2 a.m. this morning which candidate won. If Trump won all 3, he's in this. If Biden wins even one of those 3, it's Biden's presidency.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.